Hello, Snugglebugs. Welcome to today's Hearthstone video. We're going to be reviewing the Druid cards for the Titans expansion coming out in a few weeks. Starting number 1 here, we have a 7-mana 5/5 Ancient of Growth, which is choose one, summon 3 2/2 Treants, or transform your Treants into 5/5 Ancients with Taunt. Now, I will get into the other cards later, but I'm pretty sure there's ways to combine these effects, which means this could be a 7-mana 20/20 Taunt across the board, which is honestly amazing. And even without it, it could, like, if you pick each effect as an example, this obviously depends on how many treants you have on the board already, but summon 3 2/2 treants means it's an 11/11 spread across multiple bodies. I think that's actually pretty good. It's been a while since we've seen a good Ancient. Ancient of War used to get played a ton. Ancient of Lore a long time ago as well. But I do think this will be really good. Oh, that's cool. And yeah, depending on the deck, depending on what else we see, I just think this is a good card. Next up, we have the Conservator Nymph, which is a 3-mana 3/4, perfect stat line. Transform a friendly treant into a 5/5 Ancient with Taunt. So as we can see, there's a little bit of a theme going on here in order to try to get treants out and turn them into 5/5s with Taunt. Really good. I mean, we played the Backstage Bouncer with the 4/5 Frog that turns things into a 4/5 Frog. If there's enough stuff to create treants, I think this could be a really powerful archetype and just start spamming your opponent with 5/5 Taunts really quickly. Little timeless Ancients as they are. Next up, we have an 8-mana spell called Cultivation. Give your minions +2/+2. Costs 1 less for each treant you summon this game. So again, wide board. Transform them all into 5/5s with Taunt. Potentially play a 0-mana, give them all +2/+2. You have this massive wall of trees. Small or large trees, I guess. Either way, really powerful card. I'm still not seeing where all the treants are being summoned, so maybe we'll get there, but I personally like it. It's better than just pure aggro. Druids, trees, makes perfect sense. 4-mana 4/4, Disciple of A&R, Battlecry, your next choose one card as both effects combined, as I was referring to. I think decent stat line, the fact you effectively get more effects from your choose one cards, fantastic, should see play in almost every Druid deck out there. Now we have our Forge card for Druid here, which is a 1-mana spell, which is, pretty good. Embrace of Nature, and again, we have draw a choose one card, Forge, it has both. So effectively, you get either just a 1-mana draw one, and a little bit of a tutor draw one, which is pretty good as it is, kind of like a cycle. But if you decided to forge it, it becomes a 3-mana, potentially over multiple turns, but a 3-mana draw a choose one card with both its effects combined. Again, what we've seen with the tree earlier, that is worth 2 mana, depending on what you get. So how you build your deck could really impact how valuable those two cards are, but in general, a 1-mana, even just draw one tutored card, fantastic. We'll see tons of play. Next up here, we have another 1-mana spell, Forest Seedling, summon 2 1/1 saplings, and then it blossoms in 2 turns. So blossoms means it upgrades effectively. It's like as it's in your hand. It's kind of like the ranked cards from before, except it's not at certain mana, it's just over time. So we have summon 2/2 treants if it's in your hand for 2 turns. And so there's where you might be able to see 2 treants. And of course, if you just need to play it early, it's 2 1/1 saplings. First legendary for the Druid, we have Freya, Keeper of Nature, 8-mana 4/6. First of all, Freya, I don't know, I don't want to keep doing chef's kiss in this video too much, but good name. Choose one, duplicate your hand, or summon copies of all of your other friendly minions. Depending on the minions you have on the board, likely I can see this being played more in a control deck where you duplicate your hand and just kind of go all out that way. But of course, it could get both effects. So if you have a couple minions on board and a decent hand, you can play it, just get both effects with the the ways we can now copy or get both, choose one. I think this is really good. The stat line makes it feel a little weak, so I think it'll be dependent. It'll be definitely a legendary that really depends on the meta, what your deck and stuff looks like, or what your hand looks like. But overall, a good card, and I hope it does see play, because I think it's bound time that we've seen a Druid legendary again for a while that, for lack of a better word, isn't like, I don't want to know how to word it, but not super just large, beefy minion that also cheats out other mana and other beefy minions, right? Like, this is just either control or cheats them out in the sense of duplicate your board, but in that case, you're already ahead, so it's not as bad, in my opinion, as being able to just spam minions from your hand. Next, we have the Frost Lotus Seedling, which is a draw one card, gain 4 armor for 3, which isn't obviously fantastic, but it blossoms in 3 turns. So if this is your hand for 3 turns, it becomes a, I said it earlier, Arcane Intellect, but with 8 armor attached to it because you had to delay your time, which again, there was a card. No, this is a good card, I think. I mean, obviously, draw 1 card, gain 4 armor if you absolutely have to. It's not going to feel great, but if you have this in your opening hand, for example, by the time you play it on turn 3, it'll feel really good with Arcane Intellect plus armor, which is fantastic. We also have a 2-mana spell called Lifebinder's Gift, which is a choose one, another choose one, which is awesome. They're bringing this back at the forefront of their archetype. Get 2 random nature spells or reduce the cost of spells in your hand by 1, which could be really handy after you duplicate your hand potentially. And then here we have Aenar, the Lifebender, who is the Titan for the Druid. And if you haven't heard yet, or if you haven't watched any of my videos or other people's videos on what Titans are, they're effectively big minions that plop down. They have 3 effects. They can't attack right away until all 3 of their effects go off. So the turn you play it, it's kind of like a battle cry. They get an ability. Then if they bleed either after you draw or before you draw, you get to pop off another ability every turn. And the abilities that this one has are Spontaneous Growth, draw cards until your hand is full. Bountiful Harvest, restore your hero to full health, which is crazy. And then Flourish, refresh all of your mana crystals. So you play this on 10, use Flourish, you get all 10 of your mana crystals back, which is unbelievable, actually. And then it also has the effect, after you use this ability, get that 5/5 Ancient with Taunt, right? So it's kind of going along with the big Timeless Ancient tree. So again, let's say you play this on 10, right? You use Flourish. Because you use Flourish, you get 10 mana crystals back and a Timeless Ancient. Then you can do whatever you want with those 10 mana crystals. You know, maybe you duplicate your board after that with because then you could duplicate your summon copies of your friendly minions, which I believe activates the Titan. Now the Titan, I think at that point, since it wasn't just played, wouldn't get its next ability till the turn after, but still, obviously you can see how that could be amazing to have 2 Titans. Next turn you could activate 2 effects, get 2 5/5s, etc., unless someone board clears you. Honestly, I think, sorry, apologies, this is one of the better Titans I've seen. It's huge. The fact it just gives you your 10 mana crystals back, if that's what you want. Or if you're at like 1 health, you can play this. Fill yourself back to full health. Have a 5/7 plus a 5/5 with Taunt. Guaranteed, it's a 10/12 with half the body having Taunt, which keeps the Titan alive, mind you. Plus, all 3 of its effects are fantastic. I definitely think the Titans are going to be a game changer. And personally, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Hope they're not, first person to play their Titan wins the game. But we'll see. But anyway, I'm excited for this Titan. Subscribe if you want to see more card reviews before Titans comes out. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.